Hi guys, welcome back to the Rock Room. This week I'm not gonna elaborate on a real lot of stuff. I'm doing extra runs, of course, with my work, so busy. It's coming up on Mother's Day, of course. Always extra runs, more and more. So this week I cut a bunch of moss agate, some Mexican agates. So let's take a look at them, and I'll show you what I cut. All right, here's one of the first ones I cut. If you can see on the outside, other than the shadow. And yeah, wow, what a beauty. Nice mix of colors in there. See, a lot to cut on this rock. There's the crusty seam side. Nice big chalcedony pocket there, but yeah, a lot of moss. Really pretty looking rock. Alright, here's this next one I cut into, and you can see like this might have a lot of different colors. Yeah, wow, would you look at that. What a beauty. Wow. Look at all that's going on in that rock. Is that not crazy or what? And then as we get into more of this, and it's not a huge chunk, it's a pretty good piece, but you can see now you're starting to get into that, some of that blue agate in there. kind of almost reminiscence of a poppy jasper or something. But yeah, wow, look at all that. This will make some crazy looking cabs. Beautiful stone. Here's the next one. You can kind of see nice big pocket. This side, yeah, you can see already see that crazy looking moss starting, and yeah, wow, right? Beautiful moss. Real bright colors. And a little tiny bit of green there. But again, that's all these moss agates come. They don't come in real big pieces. They usually seem to be like seams, so they don't get real super big, which is okay. You know, if you're making cabs out of them. But I guess if you got display pieces, you want something really big. But either way, let me see if I can get this to focus better. Either way, wow, that is just crazy. All right, here's the next one. This is a pretty bigger chunk anyhow. So some nice looking on the outside, and yeah, it's nice looking pink up here, pink and green mixed in. Turns into that orange. And again, this pink and green up here, although it does seem to feel a little softer. Maybe stabilize it. You can see it's the top half of this rock that has the pink and green in it, and the bottom half has this crazy looking orange and red. But wow, what a beautiful rock. Okay, here's another, they say, tiny little chunk, but it did have some interesting pattern, and wow. What a beauty. Let's get turn that a little bit better. Definitely a pretty rock. So now on this one I could tell that this was not a moss agate just by the weight of it. This has some cool looking color on the bottom, but this is actually a nodule, and what you expect to find inside one of these when it felt pretty light is, oh yeah, nice looking geode, and it's got some other minerals growing on the bottom there besides all the chalcedony. You had some other growth of something. Maybe I shouldn't have got this wet. You'd probably be able to see a little bit better, but that's okay. But yeah, wow, look at that. Huh. That is odd. Alright, here's the next little guy I cut open. Again, you could see a little little hint of on the outside. Started to cut into it, and yeah, pretty colorful. Does have that little dead spot in the middle. But other than that, pretty colorful. And the bottom's got the, brown thing, but the top plumy part, pretty nice. Seems to be getting even better as I progress, although compared to that bottom part, the plumy top part does not have very far to go. Get 2 more slices out of there maybe. But even at that, definitely oh hell, look at the crazy looking face. There's the 2 eyes, and there's his little mouth. I don't know why I always see faces in these rocks, but wow. Yeah, what a beauty. Okay, here's the next one. You can see right away that this was going to be something else. So yeah, it's got some really nice looking red. Good agate going on in there. Beautiful. Big chunk of red here to do on the bottom. Possibility for some really good cabs out of that. Pretty looking moss. Okay, here's the next one. And this, yeah, kind of the same on the inside. I mean, it's cool looking. Get some good banding going on top. Can't really tell if that's real solid or not. Usually them layers like that are pretty soft. Yeah, not bad. I say if you can get something that's hard enough to cab, good contrast with the going from the agate side there to that little thin band of red and orange. Definitely possibilities. Okay, now on this one you can see that that big crevasse that seemed to go all the way through the whole entire stone, but cut her open, and yeah, wow, look at that, right? It's like a cloudy day, and then the big chunk. Nice cresting wave right there. Or angry sea serpent, maybe snake. But yeah, look at that cloud layer forming in there. This is a pretty good sized chunk. Beautiful. Alright, here's another one, and again, this did not look like a moss agate. It looked more like a nodule. And of course, it's what it is. It does have a little bit of color going across. Might hit something in there. Definitely has some agate, some color going on, little red specks in there, so you might hit some stuff. Might be something starting to happen in there. I'd have to cut this up some more to see. But yeah, this might produce some really cool looking stuff. We'll find out. Okay, now here's a, of course, a real little tiny little piece. And cut her open, and wow, actually that's surprisingly for just a tiny little piece. Wow, that's pretty wild in there, huh? Again, you just never know. I mean, you can kind of see on the outside what this was going to be looking like, but wow, yeah, that's just crazy. Love that. Okay, here's another big chunk. Oh, let me zoom out a little bit here. There we go. I cut the little thing off the end, and yeah. There's a little heart down there. That's oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. That is I mean, it's all beautiful, but wow, would you look at that? And that's not it looks like that goes down inside. That's clear chalcedony in there. Wow, this is a pretty good chunk. It's caliche on the outside. I don't know if that continues. Doesn't appear to go down inside, but yeah, that's kind of cool looking. The rest of the rock is really nice. Okay, here's another one. Huh. You get a lot of that brown. It's not bad. Cool looking. A little bit of color showing up. Good, good pattern in there. Crazy looking over there. Nice, beautiful brown, goldish kind of moss. Good, solid stone. Make some good big pieces out of this. Pretty rock. Okay, here's the next one. This one you could just see all around. It was going to be a beauty. And there we go. Starting to get our little shadow back again. Let's see if I can turn this a little bit. And yeah, wow. Lots of wispy moss in there. Beautiful, bright gold color. I don't know what that would be. You could see it better. No. Figured we had the sun. I figured I'd stick a couple shots out in the sun while we had it, because it won't last long here. So, but yeah, wow, nice, beautiful, bright gold color. Yeah, okay, here's the next one. Nice little body bod on there. On the side you can kind of see what it would look like. And yeah, wow. Nice giant agate with just a little bit of red worming over there. I don't know if that pocket goes through the whole way that way, but yeah, that's kind of neat. Very interesting. Oh, there we go. Huh. Now here's one we could tell right off the bat. This is a red one, right? And yeah, wow. Bright, bright, striking red. Looks like it's got one little fracture running along there. Maybe you got one here, a fault there too, but yeah, if you like the red, wow, is that not a bright red? Beautiful. So yeah, what'd you think? Pretty cool, right? Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And always remember, hit that like button if you like what you saw. Appreciate everybody watching what we do. Have a good one. See you soon. A while for you guys. Pretty quick for me because I'm doing a bunch of videos before I got to go out on the road for 2 weeks straight. So I'm trying to get a bunch of stuff done so I have content for the next couple weeks. So thanks a lot, everybody.